Hey guys, today I wanted to do an assessment video of the lesson, and just wanted to look over the ratios and proportions for 6th grade. And I know that we have to pull another key piece of content. You can use grade level, Common Core, and project. So basically I wanted to use this. I'm going to go through this slide right quick. Ratios and proportional relationship of KDE mathematics standards. What I want my student to know, if they know a little bit about ratios and what they look like, and I kind of want to get a feedback on how if the student know what they look like and what ratios are, or what the definition is. And then I want them to be able to rate their learning so far in the school year of what we've learned before, and see if they can comprehend anything that might relate to the material that's been covered in this lesson. And I want to basically ask them either if they can write fractions or simplify fractions, or if they know a little bit about fractions and simplifying, or if they don't have an idea to where they want to start the process. Understanding ratio concepts and use ratio reasons to solve problems. Basically, it's kind of jumbled in together. I tried to fix it, but it wouldn't let me. Basically, we want to do is say I can write ratio notation. Basically, for example, 3:1 or 3:5 or 3/1 or 3/1, and I can understand what order matters when writing a ratio, and I can also simplify ratios. The KDE standards 6th grade ratio proportions section 1. Understand the concepts of a ratio and use ratio language to describe a ratio relationship between two quantities. For example, the ratio of wings to beak in the birdhouse at the zoo was 2:1, because for every 2 wings there was 1 beak. For every vote candidate A received, candidate B received nearly 3 votes. So basically, those are kind of the examples of real life ratio problems that can be determined from questions. Basically, I wanted to show my students that an example of a ratio, for example, 3 red tiles to 4 blue tiles. In this picture, there's 3 red tiles and there's 4 blue tiles. So basically, I can ask how many red tiles are there to blue tiles. Or I can ask another question and be how many red tiles are there to the total of all tiles. So basically, it's the picture description of how to determine the number for the ratio problem. And after defining a ratio, and after putting a ratio as an answer for your question, sometimes it may want to simplify. And so we can simplify fractions. And so here, by simplifying ratios, simplify the ratio 6 to 15. Well, first we got to find the greatest common factor, or the highest common factor, for our 2 numbers, which is 6 and 15. We know the multiples of 6 is 2 and 3, because 2 times 3 is 6, and the multiple of 15 is 3 and 5, because 3 times 5 is 15. So we know that the biggest common factor is 3. Next, we divide 6 and 15 by the greatest common factor of 3. And that's how they're able to figure out. When we divide those 2 numbers by 3, we're basically our new fraction will be 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So basically it's 2/5. So the number on the outsides, toward the outside, is the fraction, the new simplified fraction. Another thing is, why is the order important in ratio? When given a ratio question, it's always appropriate to pull keywords out of the word problem. For example, for this example, there are 4 boys and 3 girls on the soccer team. Find the ratio of numbers of boys to numbers of girls, and then find the ratio of the numbers of girls to the number of boys. When we look at the questions presented on the left, look at the key words, for example, number of boys to the number of girls, or number of girls to the number of boys. So basically order is important depending on which way the question is worded. It could be boys first and then girls, or it could be girls first and then boys. So we want to be careful when we read those questions, putting those numbers in the correct place of the ratio problem that should be that is most appropriate. Then toward the end of the lesson, I want to ask my students if they have any questions. Tell them toward the end of class, if you need any help with defining ratios or simplifying ratios, come to me after class, or raise your hand toward the end of class and ask me before you leave this room. Because I want my students to be able to understand and define what ratios are, how to simplify ratios, and why ratios are important in order. So the 3 assessments that I want to ask toward the end is, the first one is, which of the following choices below is an example of a ratio? Basically, I've been given, I gave these 3 multiple choice to this question, and of course we know that the first question, the first answer is the correct answer. 1:3, or 1/3, or 1/2, 3. Second question is, what are the factors of 25? Well, if we looked at the the PowerPoint slide that I had mentioned previously, we know that the factors of 25 are going to be 1 and 5, because those are the common factors of 25, the greatest common factor of 25. And the third question is I want to have my students I want to give my students a bonus question, and my bonus question would be, can they write a real life scenario using ratios to determine, like for example, to determine how many blue marbles are there to yellow marbles out of the total marbles they have, or how many blue marbles they have to the total marbles. Kind of make a real life question word problem that kind of describes the relationship with the 2 different numbers, the ratio, and if need to be, they could simplify that question. So that's what my lesson and assessments is about today, is to describe ratios and proportional relationship to be able to solve the real life word problem. Thank you and have a great day.